Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I'm having some major technical difficulties this morning. So if you're still here, hello. So I had to come on a different way today. For some reason, my computer uh, is not working right. So, anyways, I'm coming to you live right now from my cell phone. So I'll try to kind of go through some of my card ideas today. So, good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I decided that I was going to showcase another Saleabration item. So I decided to play around again with the Wonderful World products. So these are the products that have the designer paper and the stamp set that you can get for free. It's like a bundle. Yay! Hi, everybody. So what I decided to do is just kind of play around with the little, I shouldn't say little, the big florals that are in the designer paper. And I put together a couple of card ideas for you today, featuring these large florals. So yes, I did cut these out by hand with with my scissors. It takes a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth it once you get all these cut out. So I'm going to show you how to make some sympathy cards. I have a couple thank you cards and things like that. So hello, good morning, everybody. All right, so we will start with these sympathy cards. And I just thought this floral that is in the designer paper, there's like 2 sheets of designer paper that have these large floral images. So I just took my scissors, and just when I was just kind of sitting and relaxing, I just kind of cut out all these flowers. So so that's what I'm going to show you today. But if you don't have the designer paper and you don't have these florals, you can still use the layouts that I'm going to share with you. You can still use them with really any stamp set or designer paper that you have on hand. So I'm going to start. Let's start with, I think we'll start with this one. So let me grab my stuff here. I'm just a little discombobbled today. I have no idea why my computer was not recognizing me, but it just decided, hey, you're not getting on today. So, anyways, so I'm gonna start with this one. So we'll make this card. I'm using Pear Pizzazz cardstock for the base of my card. And then I just have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock, so that'll get adhered onto here. And then I have a couple other pieces, so let me grab those quick here. Whoops. So I have a 3 by 4 inch piece of designer paper. And then I have a 1.5 by 4.5 inch piece of designer paper. So that was 1.5 by 4.5. And then a 2.5 by 3 3/4 inch piece of vellum. So that's really what I'm using for this particular card. So I'm going to put together the background. Now I always, before I adhere my white paper to my card front, I always put my designer paper on there first, just in case I cut it a little bit long. Then I can trim it off. So this piece, this 3 by 4 inch piece, is just going to go, whoops, right across the center. And then this 1.5 by 4.5, this one's going to go kind of off to the left. So like I said, you can do this with any pattern papers that you have. So even if you don't have the papers that I'm using, you can use your own pattern papers with these layouts. And then we'll put our little vellum on here. So I have been using vellum a lot lately, just because I like how it just kind of mutes the background and it adds one extra layer. And I like my layers. So see, my paper is a little bit long here. So when that happens, you can just trim it off. Oop, I gotta grab my garbage. Here we go. Okay, so we will add this to the card front. So this is a really simple layout. It's a really pretty layout. All right, so then the next thing I did is just took one of those flowers and popped it up on the card. So I'm going to add a couple dimensionals here. And this just makes such a gorgeous little sympathy card or card for any occasion. But I decided to make a few sympathy cards. So we'll pop this up. Well, thanks for hanging in there with me, you guys, while I dealt with my little computer issues this morning. Hey, best laid plans, right? So we'll add that, and then we will just go ahead and add our little, whoops, our little sympathy message here. So I just used one of the stitched rectangular shape dies. Boy, I'm having difficulties this morning. There. So that's the first layout. Then you can go ahead and add some pearls and everything to just kind of decorate it. On the inside, of course, I used up some designer paper and just kind of added, you know, some of my scraps to decorate the inside. So it just really makes a gorgeous sympathy card. So that's the first one. Oops. Let's move this out of the way here. Just like, hey. Okay, let's play around with the second one. So the second card idea features my Pear Pizzazz cardstock. So I'll just tell you all the measurements first, and then we'll get into making it. And then I have my 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock. And then I just have another piece of vellum. So it's 2.5 by 3 3/4 inches. And then I have 2 small pieces of designer paper, which are 1.5 by 3. And then, of course, I have my rectangular shape. I'll have to tell you what size this is. It's about 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. So these are the pieces that I'm using to create this card. And I thought this was kind of a fun little decoration design. So I just used my designer paper off the corners. So kind of created like a little panel design, except for instead of having the panels go straight across the card, they kind of go off each corner. So I just left about 1/4 inch matting around the bottom here and off the side. And then my other piece went on top. And then I just added my vellum right in the center. So it's kind of like a panel card design on the diagonal is basically what I did. So you have the 2 smaller pieces, and then you have your larger vellum piece in the center. And then I just took this little rectangular shape and added it right across the center. And it just gives just a really cool layout. I don't know, I really like this layout. I happened to be playing around with scrap pieces of paper when I came upon this layout by accident. It's a happy accident though, right? And then we just lay our beautiful floral right in the center. So like I said, if you don't have this designer paper and you don't want to cut these flowers out by hand, because you do have to cut them out with the scissors. There's not a die. You can use, you know, any floral that you have. Let's see if I can get a smaller one in here. Put that one there. But I thought these flowers were just perfect for a sympathy card. All right, so we'll add this one kind of on an angle. And then I just stamped a little sympathy message here on just a scrap piece of cardstock. And this will just get tucked under here. So I'm going to add some dimensionals. Let's see, we want it to go right about there. So we'll just tuck it right there. And then we'll just add it to our card front. I suppose I could have done that before I added all those pieces. And that's that. So isn't that gorgeous? This is probably my favorite one. No, Carol, I wasn't taking the day off. Although I almost took the day off. I was kind of getting a little frustrated with technology, but I'm here. So you guys are stuck with me. All right, so so that's what it looks like, and then you can add your pearls or whatever you want to decorate it. So it's just really a gorgeous card. And then you can add, you know, an additional stamped message on the inside. All right, so that is the second card. And the third card is just very similar to this one. So the difference is that well, the layout's different, but I actually used one of the florals that was on the side of the paper. So see how this is cut off here? So on the designer paper, you have all those beautiful florals that are right on the side. So you get like 3/4 of a flower or a half of a flower. This is the perfect layout for using those kind of half flower pieces, because you can push it all the way over to the side and use that edge on the edge of your card. So that's what I did. So this is actually, when I cut this floral piece out, this is exactly what it looked like because it was on the edge of the paper. So I might as well go ahead and put some dimensionals on here right away. So it's a great way to use those pieces on the edge that, you know, get cut off just because of the size of the paper. So we'll add these. All right. I got stuff everywhere. Okay. Okay. So this one we're starting out with white cardstock. And this is just a 3.5 by 5-inch piece of white cardstock that I just embossed with that time-worn type 3D embossing folder. So that's just going to go right off the left side of the card, or the card front. So we'll add that. And then I have a 3 by 4-inch piece of designer paper that I am also going to add off the left side. And then, of course, I have my vellum piece again. So I did the same. It's the same size vellum. It was the 2.5 by 3 3/4. So we'll add this. We're going to add a little bit there. So we'll add this right across the center. And then we just add our florals. So that's how simple this one is. Well, hopefully you think they are all simple, but they're fun little designs to play with. So we'll add this right about here. And then I'm going to add my greeting. About there. So the nice thing about this greeting is it covers up all the glue underneath, underneath the vellum. Okay, so that's it. And then you just add your little pearls and you got a really beautiful card. So So yeah, there's lots of flowers in here that you guys can use to create a bunch of cards, a bunch of beautiful cards. Let me see here. I got another one I can show you. So this one I was trying to decide if I should make it into a sympathy card or not. So I decided not to, but you could definitely make this one into a sympathy card. So I will show you how to put this one together. Since I was late, I'll show you a couple extra card ideas. That makes sense, right? Okay. So I started with a 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of white cardstock. And I just used that same embossing folder. So you can use any embossing folder to create your background. So that's the background. And then let's get this out of the way here. I think I have the same size vellum. So 2.5 by 3 3/4. My glue doesn't work. My computer doesn't work. My glue doesn't work. But I'm here. Jeez. Okay, so we add the vellum to the center. And then I used a 1.5 by 4-inch piece of designer paper and put that right over the top of the vellum, right down the center. And then added my florals. So this is another one of the florals that you can cut from that designer paper. So we'll pop that up. And let's see, maybe I got some smaller dimensionals here. There we go. So we'll pop this up and then just add our greeting. Oh, I should put one more over here. Whoop, it's stuck. There we go. And then we can put our little greeting on. So I actually took this greeting from the Quiet Meadow stamp set, in case you're wondering where that came from. And we'll just put one there. And then we'll just put this right over the top. And that's it. And then you can decorate it with your pearls or whatever you want to decorate it with. So just some fun little card ideas. I have a few more that I'll just show you. So let me bring these back. So here's what I was playing with. These are the sympathy cards. And this could be a sympathy card too if you wanted it to be. And then these are some of the other cards that I created. So again, these are the florals that I cut right out of the designer paper. So let me grab the florals here a second. I have them somewhere on my table. I had everything set up on the right side of my table. And then when my computer went goofy, then I had to move everything to the left. So this is the piece that I cut out from the designer paper. And then I just used it in the center here. I'll post all these layouts on my blog later today. If my computer lets me on, I'll post them. So there's that one. And then here's another one with another large floral. So there's just some really fun ways to use these large florals in this designer paper from the Wonderful World Designer Series paper pack. So the piece with the large florals has this purple leaf design on the back. And then on the other side, it has all these flower cards or flowers. So you could make quite a few different designs with all the florals. So there's that one. Oops. And then here is the last one that I put together. So I just had a lot of fun creating with those flowers and just kind of using up some scrap paper, especially this one. This one used up a lot of different scraps. And it was just a fun little way to, you know, create a background and accent this beautiful floral. So, all right, you guys. Well, I think that's all I have to share with you today. So I appreciate you hanging in there with me while I dealt with my technology issues. But I was able to get on, so that's good. So I will get all these layouts out on my blog for you. And I encourage you to, you know, play around with these layouts and play around with the stamp sets and different pattern papers that you have on hand if you don't have this particular paper pack. And if you are interested in this paper pack, it is a free Saleabration item. So you can get the paper and you can get the Wonderful World stamp set um, during Saleabration when you spend. So it's $100 spend and you get both of those items for free during Saleabration. So you have until the end of the month to get in on Saleabration. After that, Saleabration ends. So if you're interested, I did link to my website in the description with this video. All right, you guys, I'll let you go. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for hanging in there with me and waiting for me. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. So take care, everybody. Have a great week.